So Hare Krishna devotees, today's shloka for the day is shloka number 15 of the 7th chapter. So we'll recite it a few times and look at the word for word meaning and the translation. Namam dushkritino mudhaah prapadyante naradhamaah mayaya pahritajnana Ashuram bhavamashritāh namam dushkritino mudhaah prapadyante naradhamaah mayaya pahritajnana asuram bhavamashritāh namam dushkritino mudhaah prapadyante naradhamaah mayaya pahritajnana asuram bhavamashritāh. Word for word meaning and translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Na, not, mam, unto me, dushkritinaha, miscreants, mudhaah, foolish, prabadyante, surrender, nara adhamaah, lowest among mankind, mayaya, by the illusory energy, apahrita, stolen, jnanaah, whose knowledge, ashuram, demonic, bhavam, nature, ashritaah, accepting. Translation: those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. So, in this particular shloka, the Lord is stating that there are 4 categories of human beings who do not surrender to Him. And the Lord is categorizing these 4 as mudhas, naradhama, mayaya apritah jnanah, and ashuram bhavam ashritah. So the question obviously is, if it is in the previous shloka, in the 14th shloka, the Lord said that the 3 modes of material nature are very difficult for us to overcome. But for those who have surrendered to Him, the Lord states that such a person can easily cross over the laws or the stringent nature of the 3 gunas. So the question obviously here is, if it is so easy to cross over the 3 gunas that try to control us, then why is it that everybody does not surrender to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna? If He is all powerful, why don't the intelligent and hardworking people of society simply adopt the instruction of the Lord, where He says that if we surrender to Him, then we will not have to come under the clutches of Maya Devi. So to answer that particular question, the Lord is identifying 4 different classes of people who have a problem surrendering to Him. It begins with mudhaah. Prabhupada mentions in the purport that such people are grossly foolish, and they are like hard-working beasts of burden. They are only interested in wanting to enjoy themselves, and also whatever they get from their hard work, they certainly do not want to offer it to the Supreme Lord. And an example of this that Srila Prabhupada gives in the sense of mindlessly working hard without understanding the higher purpose of life is the beast of burden, the ass. So when we are chasing material gains and do not offer those material gains to the Lord, then all the gains that we have gotten ultimately will be destroyed. Because anything that we do as a fruit of our labor without the Lord in the center is simply going to be a waste of effort. The second class of dushkriti or miscreant that the Lord talks about is the naradhama. Nara and adhama, lowest of mankind. So who are these lowest of mankind? Such people, Srila Prabhupada explains, that are completely disconnected from any religious principles. So even though the human life is primarily meant for reviving our lost consciousness and our disconnect to be re-established with the Supreme Lord, however, when we become these so-called civilized human being, but then we don't attribute anything of what we do to the Supreme Lord, then Srila Prabhupada explains we lose this chance of being categorized as a human being. And therefore we are lower than a human being, naradhama. The third class of person that the Lord talks about is maya aprahrita jnana. These are people who are very, very knowledgeable, but they are so knowledgeable in material sciences that they are completely overcome by the illusory energy of Maya Devi. So you could have great philosophers, great scientists, but the illusion has so captured them that they very easily disobey the instructions of the Supreme Lord. So Maya Aparadajnana, their intelligence is stolen by Maya and therefore they become disobedient to the Supreme Lord. And the last category of person that the Lord describes here is Asuram Bhavam Ashritaha. These are people who practice or who have demoniac qualities. The demoniac qualities that the Lord describes in chapter 16, 6 of those qualities: pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. So when you are completely consumed by these negative qualities, then you certainly are not going to be subordinate to anyone. So these are the four categories of people that the Lord is describing: the grossly foolish person, the lowest of mankind, the deluded speculators, which is the Maya Aparita Jnana, and then the professed atheists, the Asuram Bhavamashita. These four categories, for various reasons, they are not able to surrender to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So this is what we take away from today's particular shloka. So now we can recite the shlokas together.